there, my foxy family. Thank you so much for joining me on my channel today. Today's look is going to be another one of my Halloween tutorials. This is for my three-eyed gypsy woman. I've been dying to create a third eye look for a really long time because it's something that is incredibly special to me. I have a woman with three eyes tattooed on my body. I plan to actually get more. It's just something really special to me, and I really wanted to do this look for you guys this Halloween. So I'm really excited. I hope that you guys are gonna like it. And to see how I did this creepy look, then keep on watching. My beautiful foxes, I'm going to start out by figuring out the placement of our little prosthetic eye here. Don't worry, if you don't know how to make a prosthetic eye, I'm going to have a link in the description down below for the video on how I have done this. Now I'm going to take some spirit gum and I am going to paint this all along the edges of my prosthetic eye. This is to make sure that it is going to stick very well to our forehead or wherever it is that you decide to place it. And it also can be done with Prosade, or if you are really on a budget, some eyelash glue. Just make sure it really sticks. Now I'm going to place this on my forehead, gently press it in, and make sure I am pressing along the edges where the seam is to get that to really stick to the skin. Now I'll be honest, it didn't stick super well because, well, this is my first time doing it, and I just, you live and you learn. So just make sure you can, as much as possible, get all the edges down solid and flush with your own skin. Now I am going to move on to some liquid latex. Speaking of edges, we are going to want to try to conceal and hide these edges as much as possible by taking the liquid latex and kind of filling in the gap between your own skin and the prosthetic. I'm going to try and conceal a little bit of the edge of the prosthetic. Now, again, I am still learning. This is all new for me, so I didn't do a super duper great job, but again, I'm learning. This is new for me, and I am just loving sharing this experience with you guys where I'm getting more and more into special effects makeup because it is something that interests me greatly. So I am hoping you guys can, push through this time period where I'm not like, 100% like pro prosthetic-y stuff, whatever. Okay, you get what I mean. I'm learning, and hopefully you can learn with me. So yeah. Now I am going to prime my face using my Angel Veil primer from NYX. I absolutely love this primer. Makes my skin texture feel really nice, and my makeup looks flawless. Not to mention it stays on forever, so if I'm going to a Halloween party, you're gonna need that. Now I am grabbing my foundation. This is my Kat Von D Lock-It foundation. I am going to place this all over my entire face and then on top the prosthetic as well. Now the reason why I chose the Kat Von D foundation is because I really like the thickness of it, and working with a prosthetic like this, it's important to have a thicker foundation. It's going to help fill in those little nooks and crannies in the edges of your prosthetic pieces because it's a lot thicker. It's just going to help hide and conceal that a lot better than a really liquidy or a thin foundation would. So just really work that in. Take advantage of the fact that that foundation is really thick and heavy. And I'm not saying you have to use Kat Von D, but just get yourself a thick, heavy concealer and just slather that on that bad boy. Give it some good old coverage. Okay, I'll stop. Now I am grabbing my Bye Bye Under Eye by IT Cosmetics concealer, and the label has worn off like it always does. And I'm going to place that under my eyes, on the bridge of my nose, and a little on my chin, and blend that out with the damp beauty blender sponge thingy. I'm just placing this anywhere I would normally conceal. Now I'm going to take my upside down Airspun Coty powder, and I am going to set the concealer that I have just placed on my face and give it a good old bacon. Not bacon like the just bake it. Now going in with my Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade in dark brown, I'm going to begin filling in my eyebrows. Now I did like a more boxy, pointy look, if that makes sense. It's just a creative choice. I felt like it looked a little more mischievous that way. I don't know. But now I am going to take a concealer, the same concealer we used earlier, and I am just highlighting under my brow, making sure my lines are nice and crisp and clean. For contour today, I am going to be grabbing my Shade and Light contour palette from Kat Von D. Grabbing the lightest shade, I'm going to begin sculpting out my cheekbones first. Then I am going to move on to my jawline and my neck, giving those a good old sculpty, sculpty sculpty. And then I'm going to sculpt my forehead as a normal and then go along my nose, of course. To prime our eyes today, I'm using my MAC Soft Ochre paint pot, and I'm going to apply this first with a brush because I've reached the bottom of my pot, and then I am going to blend that out with my ring finger. Now I'm grabbing my Serpentina palette from Kat Von D, and I am first going to start with the shade Nile, which is this gorgeous purple. The shadow, unfortunately, is a little bit patchy, so you have to work extra hard to really get that pigment payoff, but it's so worth it because the actual shade of purple this is, I'm in love with. I think it's absolutely beautiful. So what I'm doing here is blending this right into my crease, and then here where we've created a little bit of a flick outward, I am going to extend that all the way to my hairline, just getting really dramatic with it, you know, getting all beautiful and fabulous, you know, okay? And now don't forget whatever you have done to your eyes to do to the third eye on top of your forehead. Now, it was really hard to work on top the liquid latex because of the uneven texture of it, but just make sure you're putting on lots of layers and you should be able to get a pretty good pigment payout. Now moving on to the shade Nile, which is this gorgeous like cobalt blue metallic color. It's absolutely stunning and I love it. I'm going to place the bulk of the color right underneath my eyebrow in the inner corner, and then take that along the lower line of the purple. So like below the purple in the crease, and then extending it out towards the hairline. And then of course you can't forget what you have done to your own eyes to not forget to do to the third eye. Now hopping over into my Shade and Light eye palette from Kat Von D, I'm going to take the shade Shacks and I am going to place this all over my lid. Now I love this black because I feel like it's a really nice deep dark black, but it does have a lot of fallout, so make sure you tilt your head forward in case you have any of that black fallout onto your cheeks so that it falls away from your face instead of onto your face. And I'm just placing this all over my lid and blending it out as I go. And of course, don't forget about your third eye. You need some loving too, you know. Now I'm going to go back in with Venom, and I am going to place this all along my lower lash line and kind of create a little bit of a sandwich between the blue and the purples on the outer portion here towards the hairline. Next, I'm going to grab my Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit in Moonchild, and I'm going to take the shade Purple Horseshoe first, and I'm going to place this on the inner corners as a highlight. Now I am going to take Star and Purple Horseshoe and highlight the rest of my face. I'm first beginning with Star, and I am just placing that on top of my cheekbones, and then I am going to go right on over top of that with the Purple Horseshoe. I'm of course going to take this also down the bridge of my nose, the tip of my nose, and dust a tiny bit on my chin just to get a full glamazon glow happening. Now grab yourself a black eyeliner. I'm just using my retractable eyeliner from NYX, and I am going to first tight line my fake eye. It was a little bit difficult because of the way that it was shaped and the texture on the inside, and I also got a lot on the actual eye, which is easily wiped off, so it's not a big deal, but it was a little difficult getting that in there. And then of course I am going to go down to my real eyes, and I am going to tight line my real eyes with the black liner. Now I'm going to pop some false lashes on my third eye. This, again, was very difficult. I suggest if you are going to be doing a third eye look like this with a prosthetic, paint the prosthetic piece, decorate the prosthetic piece, things like that, before placing it onto your face, if at all possible. I felt like it wasn't going to be possible because of all the eyeshadows I was working with, but in hindsight, I could have done this off the face and it would have been a lot easier. Now grab your favorite mascara and give yourself a mustache. No, I'm totally kidding. Don't give yourself a mascara mustache. That's not, just put it on your regular eyelashes. Now I'm taking the Moon Dust palette from Urban Decay, and I am going to be taking it the shade Vega, and I am going to give that blue that I've already put down an extra bit of a pop because I just wasn't satisfied with it. I wanted it to be a little bit extra, if you know what I mean. So I went ahead and popped this just right on over top anywhere where we placed the Venom color. Now I'm going to take some NYX Glitter Glue Primer and some metallic halo glitter. Hello. And I'm going, okay, that was so weird. I'm so sorry. But I'm going to be making like a glitter scar. I don't know why I decided to add this in the end, but I thought it would look cool, so I decided to at the last moment. So I just took my glue and I placed a line directly under my eye, and I am just tapping the glitter right on over top of that. And then what I'm going to do is do the same thing above my eye, extending slightly above my eyebrow, but I'm going to skip out on my eyebrow for the glitter. So I'm just placing the glue here and then going to go back on and press the glitter. Why am I rambling? Now I'm going to pop on some false lashes to give a little extra oomph to the makeup look. Now I'm quickly going to lip duffel my lips, so I have some nice plump lips to place some lipstick on. And while that's happening, I'm going to go ahead and throw on my wig. This is Fortune Teller from Lush Wigs, and it is probably one of my favorite wigs ever because it's so beautiful. I just stinkin' love it. Now I'm going to take two Jeffree Star Velour liquid lipsticks, starting out with Weirdo. I am just going to place this on the inner corners of each side of my mouth, and I am going to only go about like maybe 1/4 of the way into my actual lips on either side, and then I am going to take the shade Blue Velvet and I'm going to pop that on the center. Finally, I didn't want my glitter scar to be lonely, so I went ahead and popped a little of that hollow glitter right on the Cupid's bow area of my lips. And that is it for our fortune teller Gypsy, who happens to have 3 eyes. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. I love you guys so stinking much. If you are not yet subscribed to our Foxy family, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I love you guys so freaking much. You have no idea. I love you. And this is it. Bye.